Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Lorraine here. Sorry about scraping that chair. I'm just going to show you today some background papers that I've made. I watched a YouTube video of Tracy Fox showing some of how she makes background pages, so I thought I would give it a go. So this is what I came up with. This is before gesso. So I used acrylic paints. I don't have a brayer that Tracy used, but she gave a tip. You can use the acrylic paint and use an old card and scrape the paint everywhere on your page, which is what I did. And I used this reds and greens. Once that had dried, the acrylic paint, then what I did was stenciled, but I stenciled using white acrylic paint, but it hasn't really picked up it hasn't really picked it up. I could have maybe done it next time. I'll do it differently, slightly differently. Maybe I'll use gesso on the stencil instead of the white paint, because it just blended in. I've stamped some script. There's some script stamps and some numbered stamps. They're from Tim Holtz stamps that I've got in my stash. And then I've stamped some leaves everywhere. And this is, this is the original one. And then what I did afterwards, I went in and gessoed everywhere and came up with this, which is very different obviously than the original, but I quite like that. I quite like the look of that. So, and on top of the stenciling and the painting and stamping, I used this. I have this Maxi Decor Colour Spray Cafe, and it's very, very dark. It's almost black, so I don't spritz it because it's too much. So what I do, I just take the lid off and I just splash, so that you've got obviously bits of it, but not as much as if you were to spritz it. So I'll show you what I made using these. Let me just move these out of the way and then you can see the stamps. I made some stamps. I'll show you this is the original paper, but then when you print it the colours are so different, but these are the original. And what I painted on was the Amazon packaging that you get. So I've done that and backed it onto cardstock. I haven't finished those three yet, but those are those. And then I made these 3 large tags. I hope I'm in shot. And 4 smaller tags from 2 sheets of the paper. And I've decorated these. I've stitched around all of them, and then I've used vintage book page, vintage music paper, some die cuts that I have in my stash. These tabs here, now I made these on the computer. They're really easy to make if you've got Word on your laptop. They're really easy to make. So I've made them in 2 different sizes. And so I've used those on there as well, and similar on the smaller tags. I've used again some of the vintage book page, some vintage music paper. I've used stickers on top with a botanical theme. Here's another one of the little labels that I did, and I've stamped that with some music notes on top of that. So that's what I made, just using the background papers, and I thought that was really good. So I'm just going to show you. I also saved them. Let me just, I saved them. I copied them onto and saved them onto my computer so that I can use them time and time again, which is a really good idea, I think so. And I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. So So there we are. That's a simple, easy way of doing that. So I'm going to just make some tags while we craft and chat. I think that's what I'm going to try and do today. So I'll just get my cutter. I will do that. And these I'm going to make. Actually, let me measure. It's 29. I'm going to do something different with these. I'm not going to do tags. 29. So if I do a 10, no, do a 15, Just put that over this side. I am so cluttered, it's untrue. So what I'm going to do with these two is I'm going to make some little pocket envelopes. I'm just going to fold it in half, to use my bone folder to make that. I'm going to use some glue. I hope this glue will come out of the bottle. There we go. I'm just going to run glue, a bead of glue down that edge. Well, I will do when the glue will come out. Bear with me. I should have done this before I came on. It bumped. There we go. Just take that tiny little bit off, otherwise it will be everywhere. And then just wipe away the edges there. I'm just using a dried baby wipe for that. A simple mistake. Do the bottom as well, Lorraine. So there we have one tiny pocket. This one I'm going to do an edge here, just so that the, sorry if I keep coming off. I'm going to just take a little sliver off the edge of there, so that when you fold it, it don't get too bulky. And then, and again, fold in half. There we go. Fold that in half. Just a bead of glue along this edge and along here. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all finding time to do your crafty things. What I'm going to do is, using this hole punch, just take a little piece off the top of both of them. I'm not measuring, I'm just guessing. Just put that back in there, or else that won't work. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just distress around the edges. That's one pocket. get. And so there we have 2 pockets, and we can just put little bits of music paper. I don't throw any of these scraps away because it's proper vintage music paper, and I don't have much left, so I keep every scrap. So there we go. So what we'll do is I'll just take that edge off there. Again, I'm going to distress around the edges. And I'm just going to place it there. And again here. And then some of the vintage book page. Yes, I'm trying not to think too much about what I'm doing, I'm just doing it. And then I should have cut some of these out before I came. Just take the corners from there. And do these edges. Now you can stamp. I'm going to keep on with the musical theme. These are Stamperia stamps that I got a set of. I think I got them on eBay. Or it might be Amazon, or I might have got them at Amazon. They're really good, really good. So, just using my glue book for stamping. It just adds a little bit to the sticker. I'll leave that to dry for a little minute. I'll just move it up there, and then we'll do the same on this side. It's a really good way of using up scraps. Sometimes you know you've used your digital papers to make tags or pockets, and you may have just this amount left over, which is what that was. It was from the base of the page where I'd made the original tags, and it's just a really good way of using up your scraps and not wasting anything. And we spend enough crafting so we don't need to be wasting things. And a little bit of book page. Just, I don't like that. I don't like that one. So this is a vintage book that I was gifted, and the paper's so fragile. You have to be quite careful with it. I can't use it as pages on its own in journals. It has to be layered up on things so that it's got something behind it to give it some strength. Oops. And another little tag. I'll cut those corners straight this time. That one there. We will put that one there, and then we'll find something to put on top that's a focal point. I'm sorry if I'm not. So those two, and it's taken what, 5-10 minutes? It's not taken long, has it? I'm sorry if I'm wobbling the table. And may just use, I like them. I'm going to use those. So I'll just distress around the edges, then there's not so much of the white paper showing. Sweet. I'm going to put a little bit of bling on these butterflies as well. I got this massive roll, 4 meters of this blinger thing in one of the shops here. I was so pleased, so pleased, and it wasn't very expensive at all. So 3 and 3. I always lose those. I don't know what happens to them. They just vanish, the bits there. So I'm just going to put a dab of glue down the body of the butterflies. And there we go. So from my handmade papers, my 2 sheets of handmade papers, 2 different ones, and a pile of scraps, we've got four of these smaller tags, 3 of the large tags, and 2 seed pockets that you would fit. Try not to do that because I don't think that'll fit. No, but you would fit a smaller tag inside there, or some note paper or whatever. So from 2 sheets of paper we've got all that. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, and stop by again.